Hi everyone, how are you? Hope you are well. So today we're going to talk about how to get a home for no down payment. So you probably heard this before, no down payment, and you thought that this was just, not real. But there is a way to get a home for no down payment, and that is the USDA loan. So we're going to talk about the USDA loan today. Going to make it brief, but this is a no money down payment. They have income limits. The income limit is for a 1 to 4 member household, $103,500. So you can't make more than $103,500 a year if you are a 1 to 4 member household. If you are a 5 to 8 member household, the requirement is less than 136,600 a year. So that's 5 to 8 member, 136,600 a year. So they do have income limit requirements that you cannot go above. So this is a no down payment way to get a property. It's 100% financed, meaning you don't bring anything for closing costs. You don't bring anything to the table. This is no down payment. It's 100% financed. There's no maximum loan amount, meaning that there is no set amount that the loan has to be for. Like sometimes if you go to other places, say for example, you were going to get a DSCR loan, some places would require that you have to spend $100,000 for a home. So in this instance, there's no maximum loan amount. You get the home for whatever you want. You want a 50K house, you get a 50K house. You want a 100K house, you get a 100K house. You want a 300K house, you get a 300K house. So there's no maximum loan amount. This could be single, duplex, triplex, fourplex. No assets are needed to qualify. They have flexible credit guidelines, fixed interest rates, meaning that the payments do not increase. So when it comes to applying for the USDA loan, it takes a long time. It takes 30 to 60 days, so longer than usual. So it's longer than the FHA, 30 to 60 days. Reason being is that it's underwritten twice. So the lender is going to underwrite the loan, and then the USDA is going to underwrite the loan. However, if you have a 640 credit score, they will bypass that two-step underwriting and it'll just be the one-step underwriting, which is by the USDA. So the credit score needed for this type of loan is a 640. You are eligible if you have less than 640, however, so there is some wiggle room. So they have debt to income ratio requirement. Debt to income ratio is 34 to 46% of the gross. So they're looking at your debt to income ratio. They're looking at how much debt do you have. And so to make your debt to income ratio score better, of course, you're going to work off paying off your debts and then also working on increasing your income, whether that be through um, promotion on the job, adding more jobs, but the best way is creating a business. So figuring out how to increase your income. So paying the debt down, increasing your income. So they do have a debt to income number that they are looking for. So just keep that in mind. With the USDA, they do have annual mortgage insurance premium, which will be through the entire uh, life of the loan up to 80%. So once you have paid off 80% of the loan, then that mortgage insurance premium goes away. So there's an upfront fee of 1% and then the annual fee of 0.35% annual fee. But this annual mortgage insurance premium, it is lower than the FHA. So reasons why you would be denied for the USDA loan would be unverifiable income. So they do want you to have income coming in from somewhere. Um, Undisclosed debt. So if you were not transparent about all the debt that you have, that's reason for denial. Another reason for denial would be having too much income for your area because they do have those income limits that I mentioned earlier. So this loan is good for moderate to low income people. You're buying this home for no money down. It's 100% finance. Also, low mortgage rates. So that is the pro is the no money down. Also, the low mortgage rates. Now, the cons of this loan, USDA loan, it is for primary residence only. So this is a home that you buy to live in. So it's not allowed for you to use it as an investment property. So that's a con. And then you can only have one USDA loan at a time. So say you were to buy a primary residence with USDA loan and you were ready to buy a second home because you're interested in building up a portfolio. So with USDA loan, you would actually have to sell this one before you could get another USDA loan. So they do have that restriction that you can have only one USDA loan at a time. So when it comes to the lenders, what they are looking at your bank statements and they go 60 days, 60 days prior. That's what the lenders are looking at. So it's a good idea to clean up the account 60 days prior, knowing that they're looking at that 60 days, the last 60 days of the bank statement. That's what's important to the lender. So, um, kind of making sure there's no bounce checks within those 60 days and making sure that there's enough income there within the 60 days. So, that is the window that they are looking at. So, that's good to know and to be mindful of. They're looking at that prior 60 days from when you apply. So the USDA loan, this loan is for rural areas. So, what is a rural area? I actually looked up some rural areas. And you get in your car and you drive an hour. Or you could get there in 40 minutes. Get in your car and drive 40 minutes, and then you'll be in a rural area. So I looked up some rural areas. I looked up some rural areas to Detroit. That's what I looked up. Rural areas to Detroit. And this is what they told me. Romeo. Have you ever heard of Romeo? The city of Romeo. What about Carlton? Dundee. Have you heard of the city of Dundee? Milford. You heard of the city of Milford? Tecumseh. Have you heard of that city? All these cities are near Detroit, rural to Detroit. Um, Armada. Have you heard of Armada? There is a city called Metamora. Have you heard of Metamora? Okay, so I looked up some cities, rural to Chicago. Dixon. Have you heard of the city of Dixon? Elsa, Fulton, Greenville, Marion, Nauvoo, Paxton, Pontiac. These are cities rural to Chicago. Redbud, Sycamore. So those are some examples. I looked up rural places that are rural to Detroit and rural to Chicago. And so this is what I got. This is what the USDA loan is for. It's for rural cities. So get in your car, driving 40 minutes, and you'll be at a rural city. So this is how you get a home for no down payment. And so these homes are free. You get in there for free, 100% financing. So perhaps this is why they're free, because no one wants to live there. Well, I won't say no one, but would you like to move to, let me pick a city. Dundee. Move to Dundee. How would you like to move to Dundee? It's free. It is free. You looking for no down payment? I just gave you a place you can move to with no down payment, 100% financing. Move right in there. You don't need a down payment. You don't need closing costs. All you need is to move in. And you got your no down payment. All right. So this loan takes 30 to 60 days to be approved. Like I said before, they are looking at bank statements. This is a traditional lending process. So you have the traditional lending process, and then you have the creative financing process. So people usually start out with this traditional process, and then as you learn more and more, then you head over to that creative financing. Right? So two different paths. So this is the USDA loan. No money down. You're looking for no money down. So here it is. So if you like the show, please hit the like button. It helps the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and notification bell next to it so that you won't miss an episode. Also, please leave a comment. It helps the channel. All right, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your nights.